Hello, welcome to
Papi Approved Movies.
My name is Papi.
And I'm Natalie.
Our podcast review and critique my favorite PG-13 movies.
Movies that I wasn't allowed to watch until I turned 13.
Every other week, Natalie and I will watch a new PG-13 movie.
And I'll see if Papi's movies live up to the hype.
Which, of course, they will.
Today we're going to be watching Ghost.
Before we begin, there will be spoilers if you haven't seen the movie and don't want it to be spoiled.
Press pause and come back when you're finished. Now, Papi, tell me the deets on this movie.
All right. How you doing, Natalie?
Good.
You ready to do this movie? Romantic movie? One of the most famous romantic movies of all time for the month of February? Okay. Ghost came out in 1990 with a runtime of 2 hours and 7 minutes. Streaming on Paramount+. It's written by Bruce Joel Rubin and directed by Jerry Zucker. Main stars are Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore, and Whoopi Goldberg. Fun fact, Demi Moore is so good at crying, that's one of the reasons she got the role. She's a pretty crier. You know how people say they're ugly criers?
She's a pretty crier.
She's a pretty crier. Yeah. What'd you think of the movie?
I have fun facts too.
Oh, let me hear your fun facts.
So, do you know that they both took pottery classes to make that scene more realistic?
Okay.
And then, even better fun fact is that the pot collapsing wasn't a part of the script, but because Demi Moore improvised, they kept it in.
Oh, that's
so
kind of fun.
He was supposed to help her with the pot, and they were supposed to make a pretty pot together, but he ended up messing it up on accident. So they just rolled with it, the two actors, and then the writer liked it so much he even changed the script to include it.
It actually makes sense that it messed up, right? He doesn't know what he's doing. He's a finance guy. She's the artist, right? So he comes in, tries to help her out. You know that's not going to work, right? He's not going to have the skills to make it work. All right, I kind of thought that was a fun fact. It's funny how you thought about that one scene. You enjoyed that scene? Maybe?
Not really.
What'd you think of the movie before you give me your rating?
For being famous, it was kind of mid.
Okay, kind of mid. What do you rate it?
3.5 stars.
All right, that's not too bad. 3.5 stars. I liked it. Watching it again made me go, yeah, it was a pretty good movie.
There was some stuff, again, that I thought could have been fought with logic, but...
Like what? Well, we'll get to it. Demi Moore, gorgeous. She has, I think, the prettiest face ever.
You know, all the really famous, actors that are pretty, they all have really short hair. Like, Winona Ryder had super short hair. Demi Moore had super short hair in this movie.
I think her hair's super cute. You know how we always say, cut your hair really short? We always use a friend of ours, Miss Lavecchio, because she had really short hair and her hair is really cute. From now on, I will be saying, cut your hair short like Demi Moore in Ghost. Very cute haircut.
Why don't we get into the recap?
Okay. The movie begins with a couple, Molly and Sam, cleaning up their new apartment. Sam's best friend Carl is helping them. They both work in finance together. By the way, the house is huge.
Just like Patrick Swayze's hair. That was ridiculous. I hated it. It looked horrible.
Yeah, first question you had when we were watching, did this movie take place in the 50s? Like, what's up with that hairdo?
It's awful.
It looks good. You know, I think he was famous for his hair. I think that was very popular for his puffy
Why?
hair.
Notorious? Because that was horrible.
People love it. Dirty Dancing had that thing that Dirty Dancing takes place in the 50s and 60s.
Exactly. So I was like, it was acceptable, but now it's not okay.
Molly's a talented sculptor. At bedtime, Sam shares he's worried about getting a promotion at work. She tells him she loves him, and he says, ditto. What do you think about that ditto line? It comes back a couple times throughout the movie.
I don't ever understood what Ditto is. I know Ditto's a Pokemon. That's about all I know.
Ditto means same.
Which makes sense because Ditto, the Pokemon, mimics all the other Pokemons.
So
it tricks you into thinking it's the other Pokemon.
Would you like it if someone said ditto to you instead of I love you to you?
Probably not.
Molly can't sleep, so she goes to her pottery wheel to do her work. Sam comes in and they do some pottery together. It gets sensual and they start making out. Inappropriate! Also, the song that comes on is one of the most famous love songs of all time. At work, Sam finds some issues with extra money in accounts. He has a password to the accounts written in his little address book. Carl offers to help, but Sam says he will do it himself. Did you think that was shady right there? Did you think that Carl was up to no good at that point?
Yeah. I thought Carl was a weirdo.
Yeah. That night, Molly and Sam go to a show. And afterwards, they are followed and mugged at gunpoint. The mugger hits Molly and a fight ensues. A gunshot rings out and the mugger runs away.
I don't know why he was fighting it.
He was fine with it at first. And then the guy hits Molly. And then that's when he loses his temper and starts fighting him back.
Well, he wasn't going to hit Molly if the guy just got his wallet out. He just did that because he was like, oh, let's talk about this. Like an idiot.
Yeah, just give him what he
like,
wants.
Literally, you know what I would say? Like, if I had that and someone was trying to rob me, I would take my wallet and I'd throw it and then I'd run. Like, get as much distance with me because they don't care about you. You're just some dude. They just want your money.
Yeah.
So just get rid of the money, put it on the ground or whatever, or like throw it in the air and then like skedaddle.
I think the Almighty had mentioned one time where he got mugged like that and he just threw the stuff on the floor. Because the guy's like, can I have some money? He's asking it in a nice way, but he really is going to hurt you otherwise. And he took the money out and just threw it on the floor and like took off, I think.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why
if you throw something at them, they might react and shoot you.
Just throw it on the ground.
Yeah, I think
throw it on the ground. Throw it in front of them, like right behind, right in front of their feet or whatever.
Yeah.
And then skedaddle. Because I don't even know why he was like, oh, let's talk about this guy. Like, I'm not trying to hurt you or whatever. Like, okay, be quiet. He has a gun and you're with your girlfriend. You want to keep everyone safe. Like, why do you care so much about your wallet? Like, people usually don't even carry that much cash on them.
Well, this is late 80s, so maybe he had money. But that doesn't
how
matter.
Much?
He's rich, right?
Yeah.
They have this amazing apartment. The dude's in finance. The guy has money.
She's a pottery person. Oh.
Yeah, she's an artist. Who knows how much? She might make a lot of money.
Yeah.
She might make way more than everyone in the movie.
Yeah, like she has this beautiful house and all this amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And she has to have all this equipment, which is so expensive. Like, does this really matter that much?
Yeah.
Does your stupid wallet? Like, yeah. It's silly.
So anyways, a fight ensues and a gunshot rings out. The mugger runs away. Sam chases after him. And when he goes back to Molly, he sees that she's holding his bloody body. He doesn't understand. He tries to touch her, but it goes right through her. Then he sees a white light, but stays with Molly instead. Would you have gone to the white light?
I would have checked it out. What do you mean? Oh, there's something glowing from the sky. Let me just turn a blind eye. What are you talking about?
I mean, he didn't shock him. He just got shot. I do love it how the ghosts have no idea what happened. So it happens 3 times in the movie that we see. To Willie and Carl. And then they're like, hey, what's going on? And then they turn to look at their body and they're like, what? Like, nobody understands what happens.
Like, did they not feel the pain?
I guess not. Not anymore. Now that they're dead. Who knows? Well, they don't remember what happens right at the end. Molly and Sam go to the hospital. And at the hospital, his body is pronounced dead. And Molly's destroyed. Sam then sees another person who can see and hear him. It's an old ghost, and he says that he's waiting for his wife to join him. Is that kind of cute? You like that? He's waiting for his wife.
What if his wife goes to heaven?
He goes with her and catches the white light. Like, hey, hold on. And she's like, nah, I'm in a rush. I gotta go. But she was gonna die that night probably because she was in the hospital and he was with her. I wouldn't wait. I'd be out. I'm sorry. I have to go. What if he changes his mind? I'm going.
I can't wait here forever.
Can't wait here forever. Sam watches his own funeral. Molly's devastated and talks to Sam as if he were there. And Sam responds to her, but obviously she can't hear him. Carl comes over and offers to help her clean up. Afterwards, Carl asks her to go out on a walk, and she slaps him when he gets too pushy. Then apologizes and goes with him. What'd you think of that slap right there?
Well, I think that he should have left it alone.
Yeah, he was being too pushy. But she just slapped him, though.
Well, that's what she told him. No, she told him stop. She set a boundary. He crossed it like 3 times and she's like, okay, fine. And you get slapped.
And then she apologizes and then goes with him. Molly comes home and Sam screamed at her to get out. The mugger looks at Molly like he wants to assault her. Sam saves her by getting the cat's attention and making Scratch the mugger. The mugger runs out with Molly being none the wiser. Sam follows the mugger and learns his name is Willie. On the train, Sam is attacked by another ghost who's very territorial. Sam notices that the ghost can actually touch things in the real world. Sam and Willie get to his apartment. There, Willie calls someone to tell them he could not find Sam's little address book. Did you know at this point that was Carl?
You know, I thought it was him ever since he was like, I'll do it for you. I'll do the work for you. I kind of suspected it. But as soon as I saw the way he was talking to Molly when they wanted to go on the walk, it was very suspicious and very pushy.
Yeah. Well, he needed her out of the house.
Yeah. But I thought in general, I was like, okay, he's a weirdo. Like, this woman is grieving and you're like forcing her, like you're forcing and coercing this girl to go on a walk. Like, it's not that deep, bro. You could have just gotten her some takeout and been like, here's your food. Like, I hope you feel better.
What do you think? What were you think when you said some takeout? What were you thinking? I was thinking you were going to say chocolate or flowers. And you're like this typical... Give a woman.
I was going to say DoorDash.
Some DoorDash.
But I realized they didn't have DoorDash, so I had to change it.
Yeah. Sam's worried about Molly and ends up at a spiritual advisor named Oda Mae Brown's establishment. He watches as she scams people. He guffs and she reacts. He realizes that she can hear him. They talk and she admits she's a hack. And it's shocked that she can actually hear him.
You know, I think that's really sad. I feel like a lot of people actually can see ghosts or like can hear them sometimes, like occasionally.
Excuse me? You think people can actually see and talk to ghosts and stuff?
Yes.
Hot take right there. Wow, you just like, go ahead. So you think people actually can talk to ghosts?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
They're there.
Sure they are. In this movie. I'm talking about in real life.
No, in real life, they're there. I saw him. He had a little tablet.
Who?
The little boy.
What little boy?
The one down the stairs. I told you about this already.
Yeah, I know, but it was a dream.
No, it wasn't. I was going to bed. I went, huh. And then Mom was like, what'd you see? Like, she thought I saw something. I was like, there was a little boy with a tablet.
You're broken. This might be, I'm going to have to delete this whole episode. Someone might think you qualify as crazy right now. What are you talking about?
It's a little boy.
And he had a tablet. Okay, go ahead.
Anyways, I don't think he was a ghost. I think he was a figment of my imagination.
Obviously. You're the one thinking you can talk to ghosts.
I think that you can't see a ghost like that, but like they're there. Like you know that they're there.
Like a feeling.
That ghost might not have been a little boy, but I just like my imagination like filled it in because I knew there was a ghost there.
Oh, anyway, so you were saying you felt bad because
I think that people take advantage of people that are grieving.
Of course they do. It's a whole market. And everybody does.
But, like, seriously, like, you're gonna bamboozle someone that hard.
There's a lot of money in grief. And people take advantage of it. I don't know. If you go to a spiritual advisor, you want to hear something.
But that's because you're in the lowest point possible. You're in such a low point that you think that you need to speak to the spirit of your person through some crazy lady who thinks she can hear them.
Yeah, I guess. All right, he asked if she can...
I think if anyone actually saw ghosts, they wouldn't tell anyone. Because then they would be
People would think it was wrong with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like in Sixth Sense, the boy didn't want to tell anyone because they thought he was crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he could see ghosts in that movie. Anyway, so Sam asks if Oda Mae can warn Molly. Oda Mae calls Molly, but she thinks it's a prank, so hangs up on her. Then Sam tells her she needs to go in person because she'll believe her more.
What kind of crazy person would prank call someone who lost their husband?
Well, they were kind of saying your husband's alive and he's talking to me, right?
But why? What motive would someone have to do that?
Same thing, maybe money. Like a scam.
Yeah, I guess so. But it wasn't like she was asking for money. She was like, dude, he won't leave me alone.
Yeah. Oda Mae says no at first, but then after a whole night of annoying singing, she agrees. It's funny, today we were listening on the radio and they were talking about I Am Henry VIII I Am, which is the song that he kept singing to her. And you're like, why didn't he do 99 bottles of beer on the wall? That would have been better. And then later in the movie, he actually does 99 bottles of beer in the wall. You guessed that one pretty good, huh?
I think that it's a better song.
That's a song that you know more.
No, because it goes, like, it has a progression. It's like
but
the monkey's on the bed.
But it ends.
No, it doesn't. You can set it to any number.
Well, you'd start with 99.
No, you can't. You can be like 1,025,100 bottles of beer on the wall.
So you need to know. You have to learn some numbers. You don't have 1,121 million. That's not a number. That's a billion. Okay. But anyways, I would forget. I'm like 987,642.
Every time you forget, you just restart.
You start over. It doesn't matter. She's annoying. I wonder if you get a sore throat. No, there's no throat, right?
And he doesn't need to sleep either because he was able to do it all night. I would just high pitch scream.
It's like a baby screaming all night. All right, Oda Mae visits Molly, who won't let her in. Then Sam tells Oda to tell her a lot of personal secrets that only he would know. That convinces Molly to open the door. Molly's still dubious until Oda Mae says Sam says ditto. They both speak, and Oda Mae tells Molly about Willie and gives her his address. She wants Molly to go to the police.
You know, the police station, they're not gonna help because they obviously think that you're in delusion because your husband just died. And, like, it kind of makes sense. Like, why would you believe this lady? She just lost her husband and now she's saying that he's there and all this stuff. Like, you wouldn't believe her. But couldn't she have gone in with something else? Because she knows that he broke in because that's what was told to her.
Right.
You can say, I think there was a break-in. I think it might be this guy named blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. A good point.
She didn't have to go with the whole ghost situation because then they didn't take her seriously. She didn't need to talk about Oda Mae or anything. And she could have been like, hey, so I think there was a break-in in my house.
Yeah, I think you're right. She goes to the police later and says, and then they think she's crazy. They even laugh at her there. But you're right. Why not just say, hey, I think this guy Willie Lopez is the guy who mugged us.
They could have done some investigation like, hey, I got mugged the other night. My husband was murdered by this guy.
Right. Like, hey, I saw the mugger and I saw where he went into. I think I know who he is.
Or she has an address too. She'd be like, I think he left into this place. Or like, there's this guy that lives here and I think he broke into my house. Like, there's so many combinations of stories that she could tell that are still true and don't have anything to do with like her hearing things.
It's true. Anyways, Molly tells Carl everything and he shuts it down quickly. He says that she's being scammed. Then Carl says he'll look into it for her. Later, Carl goes to Willie's house with Sam in tow. Sam finds out that Carl knows Willie and he's the one who hired him to mug Sam for the little address book with the password. Carl is embezzling money for the mafia at work. Sam is devastated. Carl also tells Willie to go after Oda Mae. Well, there's that scene. Molly goes to the police. They don't believe her. A police officer then looks up at Oda Mae and sees that she's had some issues with the laws in the past. Meanwhile, Carl breaks into her house, gets the little address book, and he uses the password to move $4 million into a fake account for a woman named Rita Miller. Sam sees when he's doing it, and he memorizes the account number. Sam goes back to be with Molly. Carl comes by and they talk. He apologizes for not believing her. He comforts her and then moves in for a kiss. Sam reaches out to them and actually touches a picture frame, causing it to fall over. Molly then asks Carl to leave. What do you think of this scene in the movie?
I always knew he was a weirdo. I always thought it was weird how he was coming on so strongly to the woman whose boyfriend just got shot and
that was
died.
His best friend, right?
Yeah, and it was his best friend. So I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then, like, he had to really do all that. Like, he was trying so hard to, like, kiss her. I was like, okay, buddy, like, you're going a little too crazy on this.
He's obviously the evil guy.
It's like he wants the money, but, like, he also wants her. And it was, like, kind of a weird plot line. Like, it didn't really add to the story, so it was just kind of confusing. Like, why does he also want her?
Yeah.
Like, and if he loved her and he, like, actually liked her so much, like, why would he put her in harm's way?
Well, I mean, it was not supposed to. And harm was never supposed to happen to them. They were supposed to just steal the little address book. And then nobody would have known anything and everything would have been fine. If they had shown that he was a jealous guy, like he's jealous of Sam, and then like they has this house and he has this beautiful girlfriend and he has the career that he wants, then I'd understand it. Where he wants to get back at him and take everything that he has, right? Like a jealousy, anger, revenge plot. What bothers me is why she let him kiss him and didn't push him away.
Yeah, it was very strange.
Because she is devastated, loves Sam. This dude comes onto her super hard. And then they start like kissing. And she doesn't stop it. She allows the kiss to happen. And the only thing that stopped it was the picture frame of her and Sam falling because Sam makes it fall. And then she's like, oh, this is wrong. Can you please leave? But like, you already allowed it, which is really weird that Molly would have done any of that. Especially if she was so sprung about Sam and Sam being dead.
Yeah, it was very strange.
Sam wants to learn how to touch things on purpose, so he goes to the train ghost he met earlier. After some practice, Sam learns how to touch and manipulate things. Then he goes to see Oda Mae to ask for help. Her place is full of ghosts and she can hear them now. Then an impatient ghost jumps inside her and talks through her. Oda Mae eventually kicks him out. Then Willie comes in and Sam warns her. He shoots at Oda Mae and then bounces.
You know, this part is one of the things that, like, if he really needed to do something, he could just do it. Because now he can see that the person can, like, take over Oda Mae's body. If he really needed to do something, like, say Oda Mae wasn't cooperating and he could have just jumped into her body and done whatever. He could have done all the banking stuff.
Yeah.
And everything would have been so much easier. But, like, he doesn't do it throughout the whole movie. And I was like, okay, maybe he doesn't care or, like, he doesn't like the idea of being in someone else's body. And then he does it later in the movie. And I was like, why wouldn't they have utilized this? Because she can't control it. Like, there's no way for her to stop it other than being like, hey, don't do this to me.
Well, she fought against the other guy, right? And was able to expel him. But I think it's an invasion of your body. And I just don't think he's that guy. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like a dirty move. And then when she allows it, then I don't think it's because I don't want to be inside you. It was more about, I respect you. I don't want to do that.
I feel like in this moment in the movie and throughout the whole movie, it's like the whole point is he'll go through any length to make sure that she's okay.
Yeah.
And then, like, he wouldn't do that.
Why not jump into Willie's body?
Or, like, jump into Carl's body and be like, actually, I'm laundering money. He's like, what the heck is going on here? She could have gone into anyone.
Or at the end, just jump into his body and jump out the window.
Because there's a bunch of people that he has beef with in this movie.
Yeah, he could have found like a big bodybuilder and then jumped into that guy's body and just started pounding on people.
Or just Carl, like just expose Carl, because you can speak through the body, right? So like if you just expose him, like it would all be over in a minute and she'd be like, what the heck is going on? Carl's clearly crazy and is wrong, just like Oda Mae said earlier. And so I'm gonna skedaddle, I'm gonna lock this guy out, and I'm gonna burn the address book. It would have been so easy.
Yeah. Next day, Oda Mae and Sam go to the bank. She gets a fake ID for the name Rita Miller. Oda Mae withdraws the $4 million from the account. Molly sees her as she leaves, though. Then Oda Mae donates all the money to a nun who works for a shelter. Carl finds out and is devastated. Sam starts to spook him by hitting things, and Carl freaks out. Carl runs to talk to Molly. She tells her that Oda Mae was at the bank. Carl knows that it was her that had his money. He threatens Molly with a knife if he doesn't get Oda Mae to bring the money later. Oda Mae and her sisters are watching TV and Sam comes over to warn her about Carl and Willie coming over. They hide in someone else's house. Then Sam spooks Willie. Willie freaks out and runs into the street and he gets hit and killed by a truck. His ghost comes out and is taken away by demons. Oh, no white light for Willie. Oda Mae and Sam go back to Molly's house.
You know, he kills this man, basically. He drives him into, like, oncoming traffic, and he basically kills this guy, you know. And then I think, okay, well, you know, he kind of killed this guy, and he doesn't really care about him, and he'll go through anything so that she's safe. He can manipulate objects. Why doesn't he just kill Carl? Like, Carl has a tie on. He could have strangled him, like, 3 episodes ago.
Yeah, well, first off, he didn't kill Willie. He made him run away. Willie runs into traffic, gets killed. If they went to court, he wouldn't get busted for murder.
I think he did.
And then secondly, I think that Sam thought it's all over. Once that he lost his money, then boom. He got his revenge. Carl's not coming after Molly. And it's all over. Oda Mae and Sam go back to Molly's house. Eventually, Molly lets her in and they call the police. As they wait, Oda Mae agrees to let Sam possess her. And Sam and Molly have a moment. I want to hear something really weird. I couldn't get past the fact then in real life it was Molly and Otome.
I wrote that down too. I was like, this is really awkward.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's like me just thinking that is unreal. And I did notice that Molly has her eyes closed the whole time.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah. And Otome, she knows what's going on. And it's just an awkward situation, but at the same time, a beautiful situation because they're being able to love each other.
And, you know, in the last time she got taken over by a ghost, she was still fully, like, aware and stuff. Because she was fighting this guy out because she was like, leave me alone. So, obviously, she's aware. So, she's just, like, dancing with this girl and is like, oh, okay.
They don't kiss.
No, they don't. But she's just like, okay, I'm dancing with this girl now.
Yeah,
I guess that's what
hugging
Sam's
each other.
doing.
But the whole time I'm thinking about, in real life, this is Whoopi Goldberg and Demi Moore. This isn't like a boy and a girl. These are the two actresses that are doing it. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, so suddenly Carl comes in and Molly and Otome run away. They go down the fire escape into another apartment. There's a struggle and Carl points the gun at Otome. Sam begins attacking Carl. They fight and it ends with Carl being killed by a falling, broken window.
Which, again, Sam does, because doesn't he, like, hit the window pane so that the thing falls?
I don't know if he did it on purpose.
I thought he did, which I was
you
like,
think Sam is the worst killer of all time?
I think so. And I was like, he killed, like, 2 people in this movie.
And the demons come and take Carl's body away. But later we find out that he's a good guy. He doesn't kill anyone because the white light comes to him. Sam checks on Molly and Otome. Then the white light comes and Molly can hear and see him now.
What if Molly just jumped in? Whee!
I know. And then just like goes away. And he's like, you ruined it. I was leaving. What are you doing? He thanks Otome and says goodbye. And then he tells Molly he loves her and she says ditto. They kiss, sort of. Not really. He isn't real. They don't feel each other. And he goes into the light.
Which is silly because when people died in the other parts of the movie, it's not like, oh wow, look, his ghost is going to hell.
What do you mean?
Because the other people, like, it's never happened before where someone sees the white light and then everyone's like, oh my god, bye. Like, that doesn't happen in the rest of the movie. It just magically happens right now so that they can see each other the last time.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. So, like, the nurses that see the old man die in the hospital,
they're not like, whoa, bye.
He sees them. Yeah, no. That is a little too much. The end. What a beautiful love story. Transcends time and space and everything. You're right. I don't think Sam's a killer. I think you think he's too much of a hater and a killer. I just think he had to fight for his beautiful girlfriend.
I think he's a killer.
He cries one tear from each eye at a time. She's a pro. Pretty crier. Could this movie still be made today?
I think so.
Is there anything you had in there that you want to talk about that you didn't like?
You know, at the beginning, I don't remember who it was. Because I thought it was Sam, but it doesn't make any sense that it would be him. That they were walking through, I'm assuming it's Carl, and he was like, Susan, you're looking good today. I was like, in the workplace, brother? Like, are you serious? But, like, it had to have been Carl. I can't imagine it was Sam. So, like, I guess that could give you some context to the, like, I guess him being a womanizer or whatever.
I don't know. At this time, in this day and age, I think that would have been a common thing.
No, I still think it would be in the movie, but I'm saying, like...
Oh, this would be more evident that this guy's a troublemaker.
Yeah.
When he's like, hey, nice shoes, or I don't know.
But, like, for some reason, I was like, I thought it was Sam that said that.
It could have been.
Which would still be bad, because...
Yeah.
He's dating someone.
He's dating someone. What are you checking her out for? Oh, watch it be like a really old lady. Like a grandma. Looking good, granny. Oh, you stop. One of those kind of things? No?
No.
What else?
I don't know.
Nothing else? You have 400 pages of notes. Nothing in there?
I wrote how I was confused and how I was bored and how I thought that Sam was very unsupportive. Of Molly's career.
Oh, why? Because
she was like, oh my gosh, my piece is going to be featured. And he's like, yeah, whatever.
No, I
He
didn't.
did. There was a whole scene about it. And then she got mad and she was like, "What? This is really important to me." And he's like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah, okay. You and your little hobby kind of thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, does it pass the Bechdel test?
I don't think it passes.
I don't think it passes. All right, Bechdel test says check female representation in movies. There are 3 criteria. Criteria number 1, are there 2 or more named females?
Yeah. Oda May and
Molly.
I was going to say Corey.
Criteria number 2, do they talk to each other?
Yeah.
All right, criteria number 3, do they talk to each other about anything other than a man?
Not really.
No?
Because they talk to each other about Sam the entire time. They talk like Sam's talking within them. Like she's basically translating. So basically it's just Sam talking to Molly this entire time. And later they kind of are better friends and then they're escaping together from the evil man who's trying to kill them both.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and say it does not pass the Bechdel test. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we move on?
No.
Thank you for tuning in to Papi Approved Movies.
If you like this episode, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast app or like our podcast on YouTube. If you watched all the way to the end of today's episode, comment down below the ghost emoji.
We put out an episode every Monday.
If you want to see extra podcast content, follow our TikTok at Papi Approved Movies.
If you want to suggest a movie for us to watch and critique,
email us at papiapprovedmovies@gmail.com.
that's papiapprovedmovies@gmail.com. No spaces, no caps.
We'll try our best to get to your
And
suggestion.
remember, it has to be PG-13.
I'll be back in 2 weeks to watch La La Land.
I'm Papi.
And I'm Natalie.
See you next time.
Bye!